Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Just give us 2 minutes for Facebook to get this video visible to everyone. Just 1 second. We are ready to get this started. Okay. Okay. So, Mr. King, there's a security on your page, so I think you will have to get this from my personal page and share it on your page.
Okay.
It's not allowing me to share it on your page.
I'll see you now.
And so we're just starting up. I just started the one on Instagram. Hello, Instagram family. So Mr. King, you might just have to say hello on Instagram so that I can bring you on the screen. Just comment there. So guys, just give us 2 seconds. Okay, I can see your wave. Perfect. Okay. Can you send in an invitation on Instagram?
Okay.
Um,
Good. Yep, I've sent it.
okay, perfect. Now I can. Hello, Adiaga. Thank you so much for being here. Now I cannot see me, but that's fine as long as I can see you. Okay, that's fine. Hello, Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, we are going to have fun right now. Just give us 1 second. Hello, Mirelle from London, UK. Hello, Deborah. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Esther. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, I am so excited this morning. I am so sorry that we had to be 2 hours late because I am in this beautiful city called Fairfax in Virginia, and the weather is not so great here. So we had a 2 hours delay this morning, and everything just kind of got messed up, but I'm happy that I am here today. I am grateful that we're here. We made it here, and I'm so excited to see Mr. King. Because every time we have Mr. King in the house, it's time to learn. Hello, China Wholesale. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Tunde. Thank you for being here. So, guys, I can see a lot of people jumping in on Facebook, on Instagram. Now, if I haven't called your name, does not mean that I don't care. I want to let you know that I love you very much. Hello, Uju Okabe. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, eBay. Hello, Official Rands. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yes, Mr. King is in the house. Hello, Joseph. Thank you. So, guys, you're welcome to the Civilized Presence, and you are in the right place at the right time. So, what I want you to do is just grab your bottle of water, cup of coffee, depends on wherever you are in, and your pen and paper. It is time to learn. When you have Mr. King in the house, it is time to learn. So you better be ready. He is always dropping some hot nuggets every time on Instagram, and I am so excited to have him here. Hello, Baller. Thank you for being here. Hello, Sandra from Canada. Thank you for being here. Izay from Canada. Jahi from Malaysia. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. I am so excited. And just give us a wave, give us some hearts, give us some love if you're happy to be here, if you're as excited as I am. Yes, Deborah says she's ready to learn, Mr. King. Thank you, Deborah, from Facebook. That's great. And Morel, too, said, yes. Hello, Mr. King. We are so excited to have you back. Absolutely. He gave us a really great lesson the other time, and I haven't recovered from that lesson. And now we're ready to have another one. So Mr. King is always dropping some really valuable contents, guys. If you haven't followed him yet, it is time for you to go follow him. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He has so much happening online. You can learn from him every day. I wanted to say once a week, but no, now it's every day. There's something happening with Mr. King. So you have to stay pretty close with your pen and paper all the time, because every time he gets online, he's dropping the hot nuggets for you. So you don't want to miss out. So So, guys, there's so many people jumping on board, and I care about you, but we have to go back to the business of the day because we have so much today. So, welcome, guys, to the Civilized Presence. If this is your very first time, this is session number 60, 60. So you're not late to the party. We have all of the videos stored on the YouTube and some of them on my page. You can follow me on my business page, So Unique Experts. Or if you find more comfortable following my name, it's Louisa Akaiso, and you would be able to have access to all of the videos. But it's just a lot more easier on YouTube because I've been able to save them nicely for you. I really do appreciate all of you for being here. Hello, Sister BC. It's so good to have you in the house. JMT family is here. So I feel so honored to have everyone. Hello, Premium Sparkle. Thank you for being here. So, guys, some of you have never met me before. I know that. So I have to introduce myself. My name is Louisa Akaiso, and I am a master civility trainer with the ICT and a leadership expert and coach with the John Maxwell team. So, whether it's leadership, civility, I am right there. What do? I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. So, guys, we're going to get our guest back on Instagram. Sorry if you lost it on Instagram. Yes, Sister Busy, thank you so much for being here. If you lost us on Instagram, that's fine. He's coming back on. He's just going to say a wave again. He's going to wave to us, and I'll bring him back to the screen. But we are live on Facebook. And of course, I will make sure that I pass this on to Perfect. We're trying to bring him back on. Yes, I am so excited. Thank you. Um, yes, perfect. So we're bringing him back on the screen. So, guys, we're going back to what we have for today. Now, the main goal of this Facebook series is really to help restore civility through meaningful and constructive conversations. And I have been doing this from the month of April 26th. It's been fun. We've been paddling along with a lot of my colleagues and different experts and professionals from all over the world. Now, I want to say that if you see me kind of moving around, it's because I have different screens that I'm looking at. And so I want you to be able to see my face at one point, okay? So it's not about me, it's about Mr. King. So just focus on Mr. King. Don't worry about me. I probably have to go back and forth just to be able to see everyone. Hello, BB. Thank you so much for being here. There are a lot of people jumping on. Hello, Alpine Rose. Hello, Nas and Goodies. Thank you. Thank you. This is wonderful. I am so excited to have all of you here in the house. Now, somebody might be asking, what is civility? It is very important that you understand what civility is. First of all, it is focused on positive people's treatment. And the reason why we had set this up really is to help break it down and get you to understand how civil and easy it is for you to be civil. And really, you can begin with little things like saying please and thank you, or even just good morning, or share a compliment, just like I'm going to do right now to Mr. King by saying, it is so great to see you today, Mr. King. Thank you so much for being here. So it's all about being responsible to ease the experience of the person next to you. I'm going to, encourage you to always stretch out of your comfort zone. And that's what being civil is all about. It's not about you. It's about the golden rule. How many of us know about the golden rule? Just kind of show me a wave, treating others the way that you want to be treated. So that's what we do here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. But today we showed up at 10 a.m. Eastern Time because the weather wasn't so friendly. So I am your host for today, and I feel so honored that you responded to the call, to the post. Some of you have been invited or you saw it on Instagram, or probably you just stumbled on the video. But I just want to say that you're in the right place. So just hang on tight and you will be so happy that you did. So now, first of all, I'm going to introduce to you Mr. King. For some of you who have never met him before, he is such a wonderful and great coach, mentor, trainer, speaker. He is amazing, and you're about to find that out. So hang on tight, but let me tell you a little bit more about him for some of you who are itchy, like, who is this person on the screen right now? So his name, hello, Evelyn Paul. It's so good to see you. That's my AICI family. Yes, guys, I'm also an image consultant. I didn't mention that, but because Evelyn Paul is here, I have to say that. So, Pastor Evelyn Paul, thank you so much for joining us. So, our guest is Ubong King, and Mr. King is a seasoned entrepreneur and business coach. He is also an ambassador for peace and violence free world in Nigeria. He has a strong background in business development and security services. He is the founder of Hangout with Ubong King, and this is an initiative that creates an ecosystem for young entrepreneurs within communities to network, unwind, and learn. And guys, I want to mention that he has another great program that's coming up, Thinkation. Did I get that right, Mr. King? Thinkation,
Yep.
if you saw the post, you would get some information about Thinkation. And I saw another post that kind of gave me a minor heart attack this morning that it was filled up. Are you saying that people cannot register anymore, Mr. King?
They can register.
Okay, great. So maybe I read the wrong thing. So, guys, you can register for Thinkation. It's going to get filled up so fast because the response has been great. People have been asking about it, even when I put it on my post. Hello, Martha. Thank you so much for being here. That's another Golden Rule Civility expert. I'm so honored that all of you have made out time to be here. So, guys, I don't know how many of you had seen the topic of today. So, we're talking about the identity of entrepreneurship. Now, for some of you who have met Mr. King before, if you've listened to him, you know that he does a lot of work with entrepreneurs, a lot of work with professionals, and really great work if you're trying to experience some kind of positive shift in your life. And he doesn't do too well with lazy people because he's going to push you to move. Hello, Ladonia. Thank you so much for being here. So if you've been lazy, today is going to be the last day. Right after this session, Mr. King is going to share some great nuggets that will help you to restart and reboost your life if that's what you need. And just kind of move it, steering it towards the right direction to achieve success. So, guys, if you can hear me, just give us some love, some hearts. I can see my Facebook family and they're sharing love. The people on Instagram, can you show me some love? I love to feel loved. And this is why I share love too. So share some love with me, give me some hearts and just wave to me and let me know that you care and you're excited about this session. So, Mr. King, I'm going to give you a minute to say hello to the audience before we get this started. So over to you, Mr. King.
Okay, first of all, I cannot overemphasize the privilege of being on your platform, Louisa. And so I don't take it for granted that you gave me an opportunity to come and share some thoughts with your family, your friends, people who believe in you. And I'm happy you've yielded yourself to, circulate good news, civility, and opportunity for people to become better than what they are. I celebrate everybody on both the Facebook family and on the Instagram family. I've seen some people that I know, waving at me, saying things to me, and I appreciate everybody. And you know what we're here to do. We're here to, help identify where we are going to, and how do we do it in the best and the most important way, taking everybody into cognizance with it. So thank you. I see you as we continue.
Okay, guys, I just heard that we have some noise here. I am so sorry. I think it's because I'm all the way here in Virginia and Mr. King is, yes, okay. Sister BC says, Mr. King, speak a little louder. Okay, I can hear you loud and clear, but I think from Instagram, maybe there's a little mess, but on Facebook, it's going on okay. Mr. King, can you just increase your volume, please? We are
Go
so
ahead.
excited. Perfect. Thank you. You see, that's why I love to work with you. You know what to do and make it happen right away. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Hello, babe. Thank you so much for being here from Kenya.
Mhm. Let the Instagram family confirm they can hear me better now. I'll
Can
be
you
happy.
confirm, guys? Can you hear him better? Um, Premium Sparkle said we can't hear you.
No,
Okay.
they
Can you
should
hear
try.
him now? Can you try now? Just give us a wave if you can hear him. Facebook family, can you hear Mr. King? Let me
Thanks,
know.
Instagram.
Instagram, can you hear Mr. King? Please let me know. I do not want you to miss out. Um, okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. I can see some wave. That means we are good to go, guys. We're good to go.
Mhm.
Fruity Tails, you said no, you cannot hear me or you cannot hear Mr. King. Not really, sir. Okay. Mr. King, can you increase your volume just a little bit? I don't know
My
what's going on. I think
volume
it's
is
just the network, guys. Oh, I can hear him on Instagram. So we have a yes. So we're good to go. So, guys, if you think that you cannot hear him, I'm going to make sure that this video is available for you just because I care about you. Hello, Coco. Thank you so much for joining us from Virginia. It's so good to have you in the house. Hello, Patrick. Okay, guys, so we have to go back to the deal of the day. So, Mr. King, how this works, of course, you already know because you're a returning guest to our session is
mhm.
that we start up with what's the Facebook handle? It's So Unique Experts. The same thing with Instagram. So Unique Experts, guys. You can follow me on Facebook, and thank you so much for asking. Thank you. This is the right crowd that we have today. We're all ready to learn. Yes. Thank you. And Morel is right here on Instagram. Thank you. Growth Studio. Thank you. So my very first question with you, for you, would be, what does civility mean to you, Mr. King? Over to you.
The stability is simply, the way we treat people in accordance to what God initially um, planned that man should do. Because God, from inception, did not plan us to be lone beings. That is why there are people. So if God make people um, stay on this earth, that means there's a necessity for us to relate with one another. So treat people the way you want to be treated, and you will get the best out of life.
Thank you so much, Mr. King. It looks like your video on Instagram, um, your network on Instagram is kind of bad. I think that's why they cannot hear you. Can you step out of Instagram and just come back in? I think that's why they can hear you because it's kind of searching even as I'm looking at you on Instagram. Something is up, but I see Sister Busy is back here on Facebook. Thank you. So good to have you here. But our people on Instagram are very important to me. So I want to make sure that everyone is happy. Perfect. Thank you so much, Sister Busy. Thank you for being here. I'm trying to fix the problem, guys. Just give us 1 second. Evelyn Paul, I'm so sorry. Please, we're trying to fix the problem. Yes, he's going to come back right in and we will continue and get this party started. Please. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Rila. Thank you for being here. Growth Studio, you are amazing. Thank you. Trinity Fashion, thank you. Comfort Michael Sully, thank you. Thank you. Virtuous Interior Design, Neri Beats and Jury, thank you so much for being here. Guys, if I haven't mentioned your name, just know that I love you so much. And I really appreciate you making out time to be here. But I'm trying to make sure that you get the very best, okay? And so it's gonna work out now, guys. Just give me a thumbs up. It's gonna work out right now. So thank you. Thank you for having all the patience. It is about happening. So, Mr. King, I'm just waiting for you to come on live on Instagram and we're good to go. Perfect. Look at that. Okay. So, can we just take that question again, just because of those on Instagram who have been waiting? And so the question was, what does civility mean to you? Over to you, Mr. King.
Okay, I said civility just simply means how to relate with the second human being, how God intended from time, because God has planned it that we're not lone beings. Once you meet with somebody, once you see that there are more than one person, that means God has given you a challenge to relate with them and make things work here. Simple as that.
Thank you so much. Guys, civility is focused on positive people's treatment. Civility is treating people the way God wants them to be treated. So, if you are struggling, and I know some people might kind of be upset that I said God, but I'm a person of faith. So, anytime you stop by on my channel, you might hear God and Jesus. I am so sorry, but this is who I am. So I am restarting our video on Instagram again. Instagram is giving us so much trouble, but I believe that it's going to come back on right away. So, guys, we're just going to continue with Facebook. Hello, guys. We're back again. And And as soon as Mr. King sends me an invitation, I'll bring him back online. But please join us on Facebook. It's So Unique Experts. I don't know what's happening with Instagram. It's not too happy this morning, but we're just here. We're paddling along. Mr. King, please can you send me an invitation? And yes, perfect. So we are right there. So we'll just continue with the deal of the day because we have people waiting here on Facebook. Now, Mr. King, I have another question for you. And when I had a chat with you, I found out that you had such a great concept about entrepreneurship and how you were really able to break this down and make it so easy and fun to be an entrepreneur. Now, my second question for you would be, how is entrepreneurship identity concept comparable to the four major KPIs of God's creation? Over to you, Mr. King.
Okay. I got everything that I am, everything that I know about entrepreneurship and civility is all traceable to, a particular scripture that says that God said, "Let us make man in our image, that he may have dominion over the air, the land, and the sea, and he should be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue." So carefully, the four KPIs as it is. But first of all, we are to, be fruitful, then multiply, replenish, and subdue. Now, God gave man a simple task: put man in a garden and said, multiply, replenish, subdue, and then make fruitful this land. So it becomes our responsibility to do that. Now, when you accept that responsibility, you would find out that you go into entrepreneurship easily because you cannot dominate the air, the land, and the sea without being an entrepreneur, without the understanding that you need to wake up. And at this point in time, I will now throw a spanner in the works for those that are hearing me. Now, people have this concept that, when they are born, that God just drops the success on their table, drops the opportunities on their table, and says, go run with it. No, 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 no. Now, what God will do is that He gives an idea, He gives a notion, and then He leaves it up to you. And if you look at the scripture in Proverbs 25, verse 2, it says, "It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and it is the glory of kings to set out the matter." God takes delight in hiding things, while a king takes delight in searching out for this thing. So your crown of success will not come to you until you take out time to search that thing that God has put inside you. When you find it, your kingship, your rulership, your success comes upon you from then on.
Wow, that is powerful. Thank you so much. Sister Basis said, civility is relating with people as God intended. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we have Beth from Kenya. It said, God gave man a simple task. He asked him to multiply. And I hope that we are multiplying. It said it is our responsibility to multiply. When He gives you an idea, He does not expect that you're just going to throw that idea and leave it inside of you and bury it in your brain, in your chest, and leave it at home, keep it looking pretty. You have to be able to multiply. You have to work on the idea that God has originally given to you. So, and this is what Mr. King is trying to share with us. Guys, let me know if you can still hear us. It looks like we had a little interruption. I hope not, but let me know if you can hear us. So, Mr. King, I think this is so great. This is powerful. Now, I have another question for you. As entrepreneurs, I do know that people will not buy the products from you alone. Because sometimes we find that entrepreneurs are so concerned about return on investment. Oh, I want to start up a business. I want to do this. We get so busy. And really, we forget the right strategy. Now, entrepreneurs have to understand that people will buy the experience that they have with you. People will buy the solution that your product is bringing as an entrepreneur. Now, with the experience comes the relationship. So you must be ready to build great relationship with people that you're working with. And that's what civility is all about. Now, can you please explain to our audience how we can relate civility to the entrepreneurship identity concept that you're talking about. Over to you, Mr. King.
Okay, I will use my story. I will use my business as a sample. Now, when I started my business from my bedroom. Now, but I knew from God's word that there's a story about David. When David wanted to start his career into rulership, the Bible says, and David escaped into the camp of Abdul, into the cave of Abdullah, and his brethren, those from his father's house, those that were in debt, discontented, and distressed came to him. There were 400 people who were in debt, who were distressed, and who were discontented. He took these people and he became their captain. Now, so that became my formula for human resources. That when I want to choose somebody to work with me, I look for somebody that has a command, who has been rejected and left to be pushed away. Now, these same people, when you take them on, their passion to do the work is at a higher level because nobody gave them an opportunity. Now, these same men who started with David became mighty men in future. All they needed was guidance. When you pick a man from nothing and you make him successful, his loyalty is unto death. And when you make one man succeed, you make a family succeed. So now you have a system whereby I run and I have 2,000 staff, 2,000 staff that people have forgotten about. And now they are now 2,000 potential testifiers that things are still positive on this earth. These people are the first set of people that will know that opportunities still happen. They know that they are not forgotten. When you treat somebody who has been left aside, ostracized, pushed away, and you give him a lifting hand, he will tell the whole world that there is still hope. And that's what civility is all about. Not to push people away, but to give them a standing, a little hope, and they will run automatically from them. That became my own platform. And when they were taken, that were distressed, discontented, and in debt, he began to walk with them. Yes, he began to push them. He began to move with them. He began to ensure that these people become masters. If you check in the book of First Samuel 23, you hear that these men were told to go and fight Philistines, and they were afraid. They've never fought anybody, but because of leadership showed them this is how you defend your ground, and they won. And then they began to learn the skills, and that is a typology. When you begin to teach the people around you how to succeed, when you begin to teach the people how to make little wins begin to excite them. And when somebody who had no job and you show him how to make money and he goes back home to his wife with 2,000 naira or $50, say, honey, go to the shop or maybe to Tesco's or wherever or any of the marts and buy something. And she sees it. There's joy in that house. So not only do I make the people happy, but their families get happy. And when they are happy, when they pray and thank God, I give the prayers and the thanks. I mean, it's simple.
Thank you so much, Mr. King. I can see that the Instagram family, I hope that you can hear us. Just give us a wave if you can hear us. And Facebook family, thank you so much. Thank you. I can see a lot of comments from Deborah. It said, begin to teach the people around you how to succeed. Thank you, Deborah from North Carolina. I hope your weather is better than mine this time. Thank you. Sister Bessie says civility gives people a little hope of standing. Thank you. And Beth is enjoying the show. Thank you so much, Beth from Kenya. It is great to have you here. Hello, Juliet from Instagram. Premium Sparkle, thank you so much for making out time to be here. We are so honored to be able to work with you. Now, for those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about the identity of entrepreneurship. Guys, this session is called the Civilized Presence, and we are here every Monday, Friday at 8 a.m. We are really working so hard to make sure that entrepreneurs see civility as a unique selling point. So back in the day, people could just kind of abandon their business, have it in a box. And, it was just a pretty thing to say that I was an entrepreneur. But guys, there's so much more than just the glam of being called an entrepreneur. For you to be able to succeed, it's a totally different story. There's so many things that you have to do. You must be ready to build trust with the people that you work with. You must be ready to build credibility. And these are the things that, these are the bonuses in you being civil. And this is why we're here every Mondays and Fridays and just trying to educate you on why it is so important for you to be civil or foster civility in your environment, in your home, in your business. This is what you get. Civility is a unique selling point. Yes, that's correct, Beth. So guys, your return when you are civil, there's certain things that comes to you for free. Like, I mean, sometimes you go to the shop and they say, buy one, get two free, buy one, get three free. So when you are civil, so many things comes with that. One of the things that comes with being civil is reputation. You build a great reputation. Nobody's going to patronize you without a great reputation. Entrepreneurial reputation, research has shown us that it is so important for entrepreneurs to build the right reputation because reputation leads back to trust. The second thing that is so important is the relationships. And Mr. King has told you about building great relationships, okay? And you can do that by being civil. Okay, you have to build great relationships. My mentor, John Maxwell, says that as a leader, if you have no one following you, you're just taking a walk. Now, entrepreneurs are leaders. Okay, and you have to accept that. As an entrepreneur, you're a leader in your profession, you're a leader in your field, you're a leader in your industry. So, how would people follow you? How would you be a person of influence to those who follow you? By building great relationships. The third thing that entrepreneurs will gain from being civil is respect. And respect goes both ways. Okay? So you have the respect, and you, of course, it's going to happen. It's going to come back. When you treat people the way that you want to be treated, they don't have a chance to treat you the same way. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes we might have some interesting people around that you might be kind to them, and it takes a while for them to for those things to settle in that they should be kind to you. But always think about this. When you're treating someone the right way, don't do it because you expect anything in return. Do it because they are human. Do it because they deserve it. Do it because you chose love. Do it because of human kindness. So, guys, I want someone to put it in the comment box below, human kindness. And that's the concept from the Golden Rule Civility, human kindness. And that just means that you are showing kindness because that person deserves it. You're showing kindness. You don't want anything in return. You're showing kindness because you chose love. And it is just great for you to love one another. So guys, if you agree with me with all of what we just shared, just give us a thumbs up. I mean, the session is still going on. And if you do have a question, please leave it in the comment box below. If you have a question, leave it in the comment box below. Mr. King is in the house. You don't want to bring the question when Mr. King is gone. So leave the comments right here. Let us have the question, and Mr. King is ready to deal with it. Mr. King, I have another question for you. Now, and this is just going to kind of help our audience to understand the entrepreneurship identity better, the concept that you've shared. Now, you alluded to God's plan to sustain, our planet using the unique gifts we all have to trade with each other, to live together. Can you elaborate more on this and kind of present us with some examples on how they can use this on a day-to-day? Over to you, Mr. King.
Okay, first of all, from Genesis 1:26, it states there that God said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. So, first of all, I see myself as the image of God. If anybody wants to ask, what does God look like? The person should look at me. I look like God. Simple. I'm as handsome as God. I smell as beautiful as God. So if anybody wants to see how I am, I'm a pure representative of God. Simple. So I dress how I expect God to dress in the morning. If somebody were to go and maybe like, okay, let's have an appointment with God, this is what you expect to see. So first of all, is image. Now, secondly, is that we're created in his likeness. So I think like God. I respond to issues like God. I act like God. So I'm first to look like God and act like God. So if I'm to look like God and act like God, I have not seen it anywhere in the Bible where God was an employee. Now that will set this house on fire because God was never an employee. But before you crucify me, hold on. Yes, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, you will read that, and God created. So God's identity was defined. God was a creator. Now, so if God created me to be like Him and act like Him, so I was created to also be a creator. I was created to be a co creator on this earth. That is, first of all, the identity of entrepreneurship because I am supposed to be a God on this earth and do what I have to do. So God equipped me with everything that I needed. He gave me leadership, authority, and power to be able to dominate the air, the land, and the sea. Now, what are those air, land, and sea? Air is not really talking about the chickens and the birds and all those ones. It's talking about aviation, internet revolution. This one that we're doing is air dominion. Yes, air dominion. We're talking about telecommunication. We're talking about social media. You have to dominate it with civil thoughts, with civil approach, with civility. Because if we don't communicate positive mindsets and how to treat human beings, you have people having to flood the airway with negative things. So we are to dominate the air, ensure that we manage whatever is transmitted in the air. Anything that is unethical should be shut down. Things that is valuable that will make the other man better, we have to ensure we populate. That's air dominion. When it says land dominion, we have to think, how do we make people live on this earth? There are now over 7 billion people on this earth. And in the next 20 years, there's supposed to be 10.5 billion. But to start planning, how will they eat? How will they drink things? How will they, cultivate the land? But to plan accommodation, transportation, housing, it is our responsibility to plan and prepare for them. It is not going to erupt from the ground. It is for us to create the opportunities that will be doing it. And that's what an entrepreneur should do. Now, when it comes to sea, what do we do with the sea? We're supposed to go fishing. We're supposed to create platforms whereby we can use the water for hydropower. We're supposed to use the water for medical issues. We're supposed to do everything with the air, the land, and the sea. That is what God expected. And when God finished giving us this mandate, He put us in a small place called a garden and said, multiply there, do what it is. So you may need to start small, but grow big. Now, where people will start fighting me, which I expect, is that okay, I am working for somebody, yes. Good, no problem. When you work for somebody, please learn all you have to do. Do not work just because of money. Work because of the training. Learn to understand because a time in your life is coming where you need to create, where you need to create platforms. Like today, Louisa has created this platform for people to benefit. She's doing a dominion. So you don't need to fold your hands and wait for something. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but it's the glory of kings to search out the matter. Whatever God has put inside you, that passion, bring it out. Forget how it starts. Forget that it may not start well. But trust me, nothing starts until you start. When you start, it all starts.
Thank you so much. And it's so good to have Tasha Cooper in the house. Thank you. It's so good to have you in the house. Thank you for stopping by. I can see a lot of people jumping on. Guys, if I haven't mentioned your name, like I said, I really do appreciate your making out time to be here. I love you. It means so much to me that you had to stop by. But we have so much to discuss today, but I do love you and I would love to personally honor you. If you can just say hello in the comment box below, I'm going to come back and just say a quick wave and just share love. That's what we do in Civilized Presence. We teach people how to treat others the way they want to be treated. So it's going to begin with all of us here. So if you are right here, can you just say hello to anyone that you've seen who has stopped by? Just say hello to them. Say hi and just share some kindness. Let's learn how to do it. I mean, practice makes perfect. If you've never loved before, if you've never been kind before, don't wait till February the 14th because that's when I notice people share so much love on Valentine's Day and afterwards they stop loving. So Civilized Presence teaches you that it is important that every single day, as long as you wake up with life, You have another opportunity to treat somebody the way you want to be treated, one. Secondly, to be responsible for your actions. Be responsible for the experiences of the people next to you. And let me just share with you another definition of civility just before we go. And that's the one from the Institute for Civility in Government. And this states that civility is claiming and caring for one's identity, needs, and beliefs without degrading someone else's in the process. Now, Mr. King, this brings us to the final question that we have. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody has a question for you, Mr. King. And that's from Deborah. She says, what do you do when someone you have embraced that was once rejected and overlooked proves to be disloyal? How do you continue to show grace to them? And where do you draw the line? Over to you, Mr. King. That's a question for you.
When you when you um, when you follow God's word, you are not doing it because you love you love the actions that God will tell you. He will tell you that you should love the person that hates you. So when somebody does something negative to you, you you don't keep it to heart. Let it go. Because I tell people that if the chip of the block should fall, let it go. Because there is more that God has for you. Now, if somebody you trust betrays you, let him go. Things happen, and then you ensure that the person doesn't have access to the areas that will touch you any further. Now, and let that person go build with the other people. That means the person was never a part to that success plan, or the person has finished his tenure with you. Let him go. Trust me, you will have a lot of people betray you. In the Bible, Jesus had 12 disciples, 12, and one of them betrayed him. If you have 12 friends, the analogy is maybe that you will have one enemy out of the 12. So get ready. For every 12 friends you have, oh, somebody must, just a simple one, but be sure that disloyalty is part of you learning from hard lessons. Pain is also important for you to grow.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I have a lot of great comments here. Love them regardless by Beth. Thank you so much. Sister Bisi says, be responsible for your actions and the experiences of others. Thank you. Thank you, Tasha. It's so good to have you here in the house. Thank you. We have all the likes. And Instagram family, do you have a question? Please leave it in the comment box below. I'm about to hit my last question. And after that, I will have to be civil and let Mr. King go right on time. So, guys, leave your question in the box below if you do have a question. Yes, Sister Bisa says, there is always one Judas in the 12 alleys. That's correct. And so, Deborah, thank you so much for your question. And this is why, we do this every Mondays and Fridays, because people are always going to err you. I know sometimes it's going to be hard, but pain is part of the growth process. Trust me. If you haven't been through pain, then you're not growing. Okay. And so when we are here in Civilized Presence, we are not trying to say something that is impossible. The pain is going to come, but I want you to grab the pain, embrace it, and appreciate the pain as being part of your growth process. Because when you are able to overcome that pain, then you just did something great. You just moved on to the next level. You just became higher than that person. So when we ask you to treat people the way you want them to be treated, it's not because it's going to be easy. Guys, there's going to be some challenges along the way, but just do it because it is right to do so. Do it because you choose to love. Do it because of God. If you're a person of faith, or, we have people of different religions, that's okay. I don't know what you call your maker, your creator. Mine is God. So do it because of God. Do it because it's right to do so. Do it because you choose kindness. Do it because you choose love. Do it because, they are human. They deserve it. Because sometimes, let me tell you, you might not understand. There's always a two parts to it. They might be going through something, and that just kind of makes them show up angry and annoyed and painful every time. But if you respond in the right way, they will learn something from it. It might take a while, but that's why we have you here every Mondays and Fridays. Thank you so much, Deborah. And I hope that my contribution helped Yes, Sister Bissa says the law of pain, turn your pain to gain. There you go. So I'm going to share another, definition of civility, because you know what? We try to share as much as we have, just in case you did not understand the first one, maybe the second one, maybe the third one. We just keep giving you a lot of nuggets here. And that's from our grandfather of civility, and that's Dr. Forney. Dr. P.F. Funny. I don't know how many of you know about Dr. Funny. He's written some really great books that would help you to be civil. And his definition states that being civil, okay, we have a question. One question from Instagram. How do one be sure that he or she is on the right track as an entrepreneur? I know most speakers will say it's doing what you love doing. Okay, thank you so much, Premium Sparkle. And that's from Instagram. Over to you, Mr. King.
Like I said, nothing starts until you start. Once you start, it will begin to show whether you're on the right track or wrong. But doing nothing is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And I tell people that if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not something that you must understand the process. What is the end result? You start from the end and come back to the beginning. Yeah? When God was saying, He said, and God said, told said, and God sent the Spirit to go and look around the earth. And then He created man, that man may have dominion over the whole earth. So the plan for God was to dominate the whole earth. And what did He need? He employed man. Man was His employee to have dominion on this whole earth. So when you want to start a project or you want to be a full entrepreneur, what is the end point? What is your vision? Your vision will determine which way you start. Your vision determines your direction. If you don't have a vision, direction is you will just go amiss. Direction will not show. But once you have a vision and you put the target at the time, direction will appear. So it is important that you know that. So entrepreneurship tells you where you're going to, and then it will define the path to where you're going to. So that's what happens. And if you're already an entrepreneur, you're struggling, look for entrepreneurs that are successful and follow them. You won't make mistakes like that. You don't just drop as an entrepreneur, you become an entrepreneur. It's a process.
Thank you so much, Mr. King. Thank you, Sparkle, for that question. And if you have other questions, guys, I have one more question for Mr. King. But if you are listening to this or watching this on replay, or someone just shared it to you, you just stumbled on the video, that's okay. You're in the right place. We're going to have this video on my page on replay. And I think Instagram will save it for 24 hours. Now, if you want to see it after 24 hours, join me on Facebook. My Facebook business page is So Unique Experts, the same thing on Instagram. Or you can find me. My name is Louisa Akaiso, and you can just follow me, and that would be great. So I have just one last question for Mr. King, just right after I share with you this great definition from Dr. Forney that states that being civil means being constantly aware of others and weaving restraint, respect, and consideration into the very fabric of this awareness. So, respect, restraint, and consideration, being responsible, is very important. It's part of you being civil. Now, Mr. King, I know that you are really successful in what you do, and I am so proud of you with all that you're doing. But I have a great question for you that's going to help other entrepreneurs who are newbies, who are struggling, who are trying to get to where you are at. Now, a lot of times when people get to the top or feel that they're at the top, they kind of think that people's treatment is not that important anymore. And before, I had talked about how it's important to not degrade someone else in the process. Even though you're caring about your identity, you're caring about the needs of your company, the needs of your business, but making sure that nobody else is belittled or degraded in the process. Can you just speak more about that as an entrepreneur who is doing so well and you have a lot of people work under you? I would love you to reiterate the importance of people's treatment, because sometimes our bosses, the CEOs, kind of treat people like crap, and they do not spend the time to listen to those who work for them, to listen to those that are under them. And I know you've been doing such an amazing work with your company. Can you advise other CEOs who are on this line, or entrepreneurs who are trying to get there, and just let them know that the success that you are achieving today is really based and focused on how you've been able to treat people who have worked with you? Over to you, Mr. King.
Hmm. Okay. There are certain statements I'll make. And the first one I'll make is that the first sign of somebody that is about to fail from success is pride. The first sign. Once you see somebody that is proud, know that he's heading downward. Between two mountains of failure, between two mountains of success, there is a valley of failure. Anybody that is up a mountain of success, you are going down a valley soon. It is it is the law of life. What happens then is that for you to get to the next mountain of success, you need a bridge, and that bridge is people. If you do not build a bridge by building people, what happens is that you will have to suffer it painfully going down that valley and coming back. You may not have enough energy to come out. That is why you hear a lot of ex CEOs say, when I was the CEO, when I was this, when I was that, because you did not build bridges. Now, I tell people that if you want results in 3 months, plant corn. You would harvest it and eat it in 3 months. If you want results in 1 year, plant like yam or cassava. 1 year you will pick it up, you will pound it, you will eat it. But if you want results of a lifetime, plant men, plant men, because men will be there to support you. I am over 40 years old. A generation is 40 years. So once you are 40 years old, that means that generation is gone. The best thing anybody can do is to invest in the generation coming behind and begin to teach them and begin to pour down into them so that those ones can carry you when you grow old. You need to learn to carry those ones so that they are strong enough for the challenges ahead. Between two mountains of failure of success, there is a valley of failure. So you would also read clearly that when Moses was leading or performing miracles, Moses never did it himself. He had a staff in his hand. It was that staff that he used every time. The staff he used are like delegated authority. He respected it. He used it every time he succeeded, it was with his staff. He never performed any miracle without his staff. David never succeeded without his men. Anytime he went to battle, he went with his men. He imagined to drink water from a pool of Bethsaida, a well of Bethsaida. He went to sleep. His men went to deliver it. If you don't, if you don't BC, okay, BC said I should leave this age matter. BC, well, I will leave this age matter. But you see, for me, the age is important. The age, if you want, the age for me is helping us to understand. If you see a 50-year-old man wearing pampers now, you'll say there's something wrong, true or false. It is, and once you are 50 years old and you have to run on the same race with a 15-year-old boy or girl, there is no way you can beat that person. So I respect my own age. So what I do is to pour down on those behind me and I make it. So the first sign of failure of any leadership is pride. The earth was without form and God made something out of it. As long as you remain empty, God can make something out of you. But when you think that you are the be all and do all, it's just a matter of time. You will be disgraced out of this earth. But if you are there, look at Nelson Mandela. Till today, everybody is mentioning him because he was humane to people. He was humane to people.
Thank
So
you so
let me
much.
leave it before BC tears me to shreds here. BC, you know I'm your boy. BC, you know I'm your boy. Biko,
Thank you so much, Mr. King. Oh my goodness, that was some hard truth, guys. And I know that you will agree with me. This was such a wonderful session, Mr. King. I want to say a big thank you for making our time to be here. And I believe that our audience, everyone is so excited, have learned something. Hello, Diane Robin Social. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you making out time to be here. Hello, Manuel Edim. Thank you for being here. We have a lot of people on Instagram, a lot of people on Facebook. Guys, I really appreciate you making out time. And this is the Civilized Presence. If you're just joining us for the very first time, you will have access to this video on Instagram for the next 24 hours, on Facebook, on my page. It's Louisa Akaiso. And you can also follow me on my business page. It's So Unique Experts. And you will have access to this. You can also follow me on YouTube, guys. I have a great news for you. Beginning from next week, okay, we will be live on YouTube as well. Because I have a lot of followers who say, Louisa, but I am not on Facebook. I am not on Instagram. I hate to go on Facebook. Now I'm going to get you on YouTube. Yes, because we're sharing great and valuable content. And guys, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you, Ubong. Frank West. Thank you for being here. It's so good to have you. Sister Bissy, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed this session. This is wonderful, guys. So I also want to mention to you that we're preparing, beginning from now, for the holiday season. If you get into the stores, you can hear the Christmas carols already playing. And sometimes, so many of us get out of order when the holiday comes. Now, I have you covered this time. Whether it's in hosting the right way, we have you covered. For those of you who want to date, we don't want you to stay out of the rules. We have you covered. If you're going to be preparing and hosting your family, we have you covered with dining etiquette. Okay, we have you covered. If you're looking for the right gifts to give to people, we have you covered. If you're looking for the right outfits to wear, we have you covered. So you want to hang on tight beginning from Monday. Let me tell you, we're going to share some really great contents on how to get you to be successful and enjoy your holiday gracefully in the right way. So I'm all about being civil. So if you want to dress and look your best, but still look civilized, we have you covered because I'm not going to, do things on the other side. So if you want to learn the right tips on how to date and how to, dine with the members of your family, on how to send out gifts and say please and thank you during the holiday season, I have you covered. And I'm going to have great people come on the show to share all of this. Now, if you do know that you would love to share something with us during the season, send me an email. It's Louisa at the civilityacademy.com. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Now, I want to remind you of Tinkation. If you haven't registered, go and register because I don't want you to tell me that you couldn't get a seat. Go and register for Tinkation. It's in January. And we're going to have an online version of Tinkation very soon, launching next year, so that people here in North America, in Europe, in Malaysia, because we have such a global audience in Kenya. I can see people in Canada. I can see people in Dubai. I can see my friend from Dubai who locked on, and everyone is here. And I want you to be part of all the great things that we're doing. Now we have it here. The link is right here in the comment box below, ubongking.com. Go and register for this session. Do not tell me you didn't know how to start your year the right way. Go and register for this session. It is online, and yes, it will be live streamed. We're working on that, Deborah. I am in his throat. And I said, Mr. King, you have to live stream this right here on the Civilized Presence. So I'm still negotiating. I'm not saying yes yet because we don't like to lie, but I'm working on it to make it live here on the Civilized Presence for you. So guys, I want to say, thank you so much. Yes, Mr. King. Kenya says they want Tinkation. We're thinking about that. Next year, Kenya is coming up. So thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, If you're interested in doing what I do, because I get a lot of emails and messages, send me an email at louisa at thecivilityacademy.com. You can also visit my website, thecivilityacademy.com, civility experts slash Virginia, or souniqueexperts.com. You will find me there. I'm on Instagram, and on Facebook. I'm everywhere that you want me to be, everywhere that is good for people to be. I am there, and I'm ready to answer all of your questions. So, guys, I'm going to let you go, but I hate to let you go. Usually we're here for 30 minutes, but I couldn't have Mr. King for 30 minutes. It was such great content, and you can agree with me. So, guys, I'm going to let you go, and we're back here on Monday at 8 a.m. and Eastern time. So, bye for now. Thank you so much. Sister Busy says we have taken dominion. That's right. That's why I love you. Yes, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're bringing it live. There's no place to hide, Mr. King. Thank you so much, guys. It's so good to have you here. And I have to let you go, but I'll see you again 8 a.m. Eastern time on Monday. Bye for now and have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now. God bless you.